Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 394. I am Brendan. All right. Alessandro Pantoja taking on Steve Erceg, UFC 301. This is going to be the prelims, all right? This is going to be Joanderson, Brito versus Jack Shore and the rest of the prelim card, okay? If you're looking for the main card, main event, Pantoja, Erceg breakdown, that's in the first one. We're going to break down all the prelim fights here. If you like that kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way they know the next video is coming out. Let's get into it. This fight had, this card had enough controversy, top to bottom. Weird stoppages, just kind of a weird production quality problems, just a whole bunch of issues. I went over some of the production stuff on the in the main card breakdown, but even here, man, this stoppage doesn't happen outside of Brazil. It just doesn't. We'll talk about it. All right, Brito landing a nasty, hard low kick to start with that pressure, looking to end the night with the snappy jabs and that big right hand. Brito's beating him up with that lead leg. Something fierce, man. He is just pounding into that thing. Shore looking to weather the storm. A ton of clinch work. I don't know if that's going to really weigh on Brito. It's just, they are in Brazil. He's probably able to stay in more remote locations, so cardio is probably not an issue. Anyway, 10-9 in that first round for Brito. Second round, Brito right in his face again. Shore landing the head kick and a nice right hand and back to the clinch. It just Shore's leg is just trashed. He gets kicked in the leg and it's hurt, but he's not limping on it. It opens up and he starts bleeding. And then the ref makes them stop. The doctor comes in, and the doctor starts sticking his finger in the cut. You saw it in the thumbnail. That hole in his leg was from the kicks, and it's just his skin was broken. And the doctor is worried that the leg was broken. Meanwhile, he's sticking his finger inside the cut, and is like, "Oh well, it's bleeding, so this bleeding's bad." I don't think that gets stopped in the U.S. We've seen people's bone before. I'm not saying that's a good thing. What I'm saying is yeah. Oh, yeah, and there was point deductions in this one. Just the level of inconsistency on this card was unbelievable. Inconsistency with past UFC events, inconsistency within itself as far as how each fight was being officiated. You can't have that stuff. It creates a whole bunch of problems, a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to deal with, controversies where they don't need to be. Was Brito winning that fight? 100 times. 100 times out of 100, he wins that fight. The way things were looking. Okay. That being said, I don't want that stoppage. Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Iasmin Lucindo. All right. Lots of striking, but Kowalkiewicz just couldn't get her shit going. Lucindo landed some hard hooks as she backs up. Lucindo looking to have looks to have damaged that left eye of Karolina. Turns out it was just like a finger, like a knuckle that went into the eye, and she was kind of blinking it out. Karolina getting stuck in the guillotine. The front headlock takes some knees to the face in this round. Weird that the crowd doesn't boo at all when their fighter is pressuring, right? When the Brazilian fighter is pressuring and landing nothing in the clinch, they don't boo. But when the Brazilian fighter is being clinched and nothing's happening, the boo birds come out like you wouldn't believe. Lucindo gets a trip. At least in other countries, they boo. At least in Mexico, they boo all the time there's any grappling. Lucindo gets the trip and right to the mount to the end of the round. Obviously, her round outstruck her 25-7. Just Kowalkiewicz just didn't have anything. Karolina was trying to walk her down, get in range, but she keeps taking big shots while she's moving in. And Kowalkiewicz almost with the Homer Simpson technique, just trying to take punches to the face as a defense. Kind of nothing round. Really not feeling these female fights lately. There was enough strikes here, 38-26 for Lucindo, but just not the most technical, not the most interesting, not a lot of slanging and banging, not the most fun to watch. Lucindo now getting the takedown, looking to ride out the round on top. Karolina gets up. This fight was a skipper. This last round, 20-9 for striking numbers, 3 minutes of holding time on the ground. This one's a skipper. Do not watch this one unless you're like a completionist. I would just skip this one. All right, some more controversy. Elves Brener versus Myktybek Orolbai. Gotta love those Kyrgyzstan names. Brener backing up, finding the mark with that hard right hand, and then Orolbai lands the hard 1-2, rocking Brener, gets right into the takedown, gets on top against the fence. Brener using the omoplata to sweep and get back up, not bad. Wasn't able to land much when he got into top position, but Orolbai, just with disdain for Brener, takes him down, continuing to elbow him into the ground. 20-10 for the striking numbers, clearly his round, 10-9. Second round, Orolbai landing the front kick to the body, kicking him to the ground, and then landing the hard right hand puts Brener on shaky legs. Orolbai goes back to the ground, more of that ground and pound, gets him out, even landing even more elbows this time. He outstruck him here 28-21, lots of ground strikes, but Brener was able to get back up with 2:40 left. He's just not quitting on himself. Brener uses the headlock to keep momentum and walk over as he's trying to, he reverses the takedown, gets on top, gets into mount, and ends the round on top. Not enough to change the score of that round, but definitely a 20-18. Last round here. Brener gets the takedown to start the last round. He really wants to pressure him. And then Orolbai grabs the fence when they go down. Immediate point deduction. Doesn't stop it. Doesn't even warn him anything. Immediately point deduction. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a fan of this. I think there should be a point deduction if there is if there's no change of position. If there is a change of position, and there's you can use it a bunch of different ways, right? The point deduction is perfect. Like, you should definitely lose the position and you should definitely lose a point, whatever. Anyway, this never happens. So all of a sudden, Fernando Portela. Okay, I don't hear his name often, reffing many fights outside of this country, but anyway, in this country, he just calls it. I mean, I don't know if this is his normal thing. Okay, I'm not mad that he did it. It's just this consistency. You can't do this shit. Like, I'm for this. I'm for an instant one. But the commentary team is like, do you like that? Oh, yeah, I like that. But meanwhile, if someone gets kicked in the nuts, oh, well, you can't take a point because it was accidental. Everybody's all over the place. They say they want things until it happens, and then they go against it. I love this. I love this point deduction. But you got to have consistency. Everybody else got to do it too. I loved it. I love instant point deduction. Fantastic. This round's back and forth. Brener looking exhausted, but he's still winging, taking huge shots from Orolbai, and Orolbai drops him with the right hand, and he probably landed more damage in that round. That last couple shots is what won him this round. If you look at this, 17-17. Dead even striking, and Orolbai dropped him in this last round. So I had it 29-27. I think that's what all three judges had it. Yep, all three judges saw it the same way. And if he doesn't win that last round, it's a draw because of that point deduction. So it's a good thing that he really pushed for it. Okay. Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. Tale of two different fights, essentially. You know, when it was on the feet, Klose looked great initially, and then he started grappling. And then we got into this weird, whatever. Silva landing a shot to the nuts right away. Klose keeping the pressure on, going to the body with those hooks. Silva has to clinch and reverse to get off the fence, landing some low kicks. Klose with that pressure, keeping Silva stuck against the fence. He was doing such a good job. He was waiting too much, in my opinion, but because he was waiting and he was waiting to draw the offense out of Silva, he was able to land some big shots. Amazing round, near perfect offense. Outstruck him 29-20. Yes, Silva did land in here, but Klose was so far out in front, so much damage. I figured he was just going to be patient and do this the entire fight. The second round, Silva going with some hard body kicks and forced to the cage, and then Klose keeping Silva against the cage for a majority of this round, taking one big shot in return. I mean, I don't like watching it, and Brazilian fans are booing because their guy can't move, but this is still Klose's round. 17-15 for striking numbers in favor of Klose. Tons of control time on the cage, nearly 4 minutes of it. It is what it is. Like, do I want to watch that for 3 rounds? Hell no. But judging by what we saw, you know, if Silva had landed a few more big shots, that could easily have been his round, but that's just not what we got. Last round, Silva landing the left hook and another one. Klose just not moving well, looking really tired. And then Ipo Silva looking to put the pressure on, fighting through the jabs and that right hand of the right hands of Klose. Klose looking for the takedown and Silva jumping, standing, guillotine. This was so crazy. There was so many interactions. I know I'm just rattling stuff up, but this is like the frenetic pace that ended up happening in this last round. Klose jumps backwards, pulling Silva onto his own head, right? Like Silva's on top of him, standing with that standing guillotine, and Klose dives backward to try and slam his head to the ground, which he did, and it might have gotten him up, but then he gets up and then gets rocked. Silva dives guillotine again. Klose stays on top and then stays against him on the cage when they do get back up. Man, this last round, I don't give it a 10-8. I don't think Silva was close enough for sustained damage to give it a 10-8. Now, if we scored it how it's written, where a fighter clearly wins a round, it's a 10-8, then that should be Silva. But that's just not what we saw. Like, that's not what we see, sorry. Striking numbers dead even in this last round, but we know who won it. Scorecards. All three judges saw it the same way. First 2 rounds to Klose. Last round to Silva. Fun interactions in that fight as it went on. Second round is a stinker. Third round, fun ending. All right, this one was crazy. This guy looks really good. I was thinking it before DC said it. Or, no, it wasn't DC. I think they cut to Dean Thomas. They cut to Dean Thomas. He said it. Mauricio Ruffy versus Jamie Mullarkey. Ruffy going with the sweeping low kick to start. Really interesting. A ton of measuring with Ruffy taking the center, finding the mark with a couple hard jabs. And when they move into the range and they crash at the same time, Ruffy lands a jab. Really nice stuff. Ruffy is just styling out there, finding the mark with some nasty stuff, spinning heel kick to the right, hard right hands, lunging in. He's looking smooth. He doesn't have the same stance as McGregor. He doesn't have those kinds of things, but the way that he's standing in there and walking people down, he's got a McGregor like aura about him, and he's got some skills to back it up. Let's see how it goes. I mean, he did take a couple big shots like McGregor used to, and he looks big for this division like McGregor used to, not for lightweight, but for featherweight. And Mullarkey finds success with some dirty boxing here as he rushes in, but he just gets tagged and a huge right knee drops him. Somehow he gets back up, but then he just takes more of a beating. That fight could have been stopped a little bit earlier. That one was pretty rough. Yeah, that guy looks really good, man. He looks really good. The Ruffy guy. Watch out for him. Let's see. I don't think he's gonna flame out. He looks like he's got enough skills. But I'm excited to watch him fight. Dione Barbosa versus Ernesta Kareckaite. Yeah, Kareckaite. Yep. Kareckaite. Barbosa landing a hard body kick and a hard low kick and a hard right hand. Great combo from her. She's looking sharp out there. Barbosa gets a takedown, takes the back, and then gets the rear naked choke right away. DC says it's over. Like, DC's like, oh, it's over. It's over. Like he usually does. He's trying to call it. It don't work anymore like that, man. It used to, but people get out of shit now. Barbosa on the back for the rest of the round, but she just couldn't get the finish. Great round for her, though. 10-9. Second round, Barbosa landing a nasty right hand and then a spinning elbow, staggering Kareckaite, and then goes to the takedown. Barbosa gets a takedown, but just takes punishment and ends up on her back for her troubles. Kareckaite defending the leg lock, giving up her back, really sloppy. Shit show of a round, but Barbosa just didn't land anything as the round went on. She only landed that big shot, and Kareckaite ended up in control for most of the round and landed big shots from up top, 14-8. Closer round, but I get it. This is one of those ones where home field advantage really takes part. Close round, but I had it for Kareckaite. 19-19 going to third round. Barbosa shoots a takedown again, just can't get it. Can't get past the sprawl. She's looking super tired. She is not a 5-round fighter based off what I'm seeing here. Kareckaite is able to land some strikes now. Barbosa's slowing down. Barbosa's panic shooting now, and it's sloppy. Kareckaite looking tired too, but able to defend the takedown, land some strikes again. Barbosa looked like crap in this last round. She looked like absolute garbage. 29-28, Kareckaite on my card, but Barbosa's winning. I think laying on her back in the second round as she took all those kicks to the legs. She just laid there I'm not a fan of that position. I hate that position, the 1 up, 1 down thing. I fucking hate it. But the referee didn't step in soon enough, in my opinion. Nobody scored it for her though. Fabio Alves, Sal D'Amato, and David Torelli all saw it the same way. First 2 rounds to Barbosa. I get it. She landed that one big shot in that second round, but I got to tell you, the referees need to stop it. That's the referee's job, is to stop them from doing the 1 up, 1 down. But when you spend 2 minutes just sitting on your back, Ismael Bonfim versus Vinc Pichel. Fun fight. Really hard low kicks for Bonfim. Pichel going back at him, but they just don't have the same sting. Now, later on, they started to add up. Pichel's able to land with some more emphasis now with the low kicks, and Bonfim is countering with the giant hooks. Pichel avoids them, landing his own straights. Pichel's just more stationary with waiting to slip and counter, but he's too slow to counter him. And Bonfim's finding the mark with some of those hooks to the body and up top, and then a hard head kick. Pichel just still standing there. Bonfim landed more damage, definitely through the second half of this round. 34-18 striking numbers in favor of Bonfim. He just was a much cleaner striker. Bonfim more energetic with more movement and bigger swings. Pichel's just waiting too much. Bonfim getting out in front, and he's landing with power too in his second round. Pichel's only success is those low kicks and just can't match the output or power. 36-22 in favor of Bonfim, and I had him up 20-18. Last round, Bonfim's finding success in everything that he wants, and there's just nothing Pichel's doing that's working. Pichel pokes him in the eye. Great. Another freaking foul. It happens a lot, but this night was not particularly dirty, just like it was an average dirty night. Bonfim's tracking him down and landing those big hooks and trying to flying knee a few times, trying to get the finish, but Bonfim couldn't get the finish. He would land some good shots and then back off. He was not looking for it, not looking to, risk it. And smart move, 41-21, relatively entertaining fight too. He didn't grapple his way to a victory. Looked good. All right, Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas. Costa's sitting down on some low kicks, some hard hooks coming fast, but a lot of measuring in this early in this first round. Borjas landing the 1-2 stiff, but he's just not landing enough of that jab early. Costa lands a decent jab, a hard left hook. Both times Borjas reacts big, and regardless of what you think leading up to that point, Costa wins that round because of the way it finished. Now, he did only outstrike him by 1 strike, but like I said, that finishing to that round put him way out in front. Then Costa lands a low kick again. Borjas is limping. He drops from that low kick in the second round, and he lands a whole bunch more of them. Costa ends it with like 7 leg kicks. He proceeds. Oh, yeah. This one had a really weird ending. He gets him to the ground, right? And the fight probably could have been stopped multiple times, but the sequence that led to the stoppage makes absolutely no sense. He gets him down, has him here, and then he's punching, and all the punches are straying because of where the hand is. They're straying in front of the face. Like, this is where the punches are going. Legit. Like this. None of them are touching his head. And the referee says, "Oh, that's enough. We can't have any more of that." What the fuck are you doing, dude? Wait till a strike lands before you do that. Like I said, I'm not mad at the stoppage because he was in a bad spot and he was giving up. Like, he was in the process of, conceding defeat. I'm not saying it's a bad stoppage because of the outcome. I'm just saying the timing on it looks so. Go back and watch it. Even if you're not that into these, go back and watch the ending of Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas and go see how those strikes don't like he's like tickling his nose with his glove, like oh, we can't have any more of that. Can't have any more. That's too much damage. That's it. I hope you guys had have an amazing week. I love you guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. That way, the next video is coming out. If you like this video, hit the like button. Thank you all for sticking around. Peace.